In this video, we're going to be expanding our flashcards program that we made in the previous video to support AI hints if we get an answer incorrect. Right now, the way that it works is we got 3 cards that we defined in a dictionary, and we can type in the answers here, but if we get something wrong, it just tells us what the correct answer is, or it tells us that we're correct. What we want to do is expand this a little bit. If we get it wrong, we're going to use AI to generate a hint and give us another chance at the answer. So I'll go ahead and clear the screen. To get started, the first thing that we're going to want to do is make sure that we pip install OpenAI. I've already done this. I don't need to do that. The next thing we need to do is declare our OpenAI API key as an environment variable. If you're on PowerShell like I am, you're simply going to declare it like this, right? And this value would be my OpenAI API key. If you're on Linux, you'll need to export your OpenAI API key just like this. So let's get started. This is the code that we're starting with here. And the first thing that we're going to do is up here at the top, we're going to from OpenAI import open, oops, let me spell that right, OpenAI. Next, we'll create an OpenAI client. So we'll call it client equals OpenAI. And I'll add a comment. Now, the rest of this is going to stay the same. Our flashcards won't change. We can add more questions if we want, but I'm just going to leave this default for now. And let's make a function called getHint. And we're going to specify or support the question, user's answer, and correct answer. And let's just add a comment. Get a hint from OpenAI's API. So we're going to start a prompt here, and we'll do an F string, and we're going to say, you are a friendly Python tutor. The student was asked, and we'll put in the question here. And we'll do another F string. The student answered, gave this answer, which was not correct. User's answer. Next, we'll say, do not reveal the answer, which is, and we'll say correct answer, but give them a hint. And this video is sponsored by us, Server Academy. We have a fully revamped Python course that has interactive examples like this little Canon example. You can click it. You can run this in your browser right now. Interactive Python code down here at the top, and it interacts with a little game down here at the bottom. So if you are interested in taking your Python skills to the next level and doing fun little challenges like these to learn Python code, check out serveracademy.com/Python, and let's get on with the video. And I want to spell prompt correctly. And I forgot my equal sign here. Now let's make our API call, or let's use the OpenAI client here. So get response from OpenAI. So we're going to say response equals client.chat.completions.create. All right. And we're going to say the model is equal to, and I'm going to say GPT-4o mini. And this just because this is a cheap model that we can use. I'll add a comma, and I'll say the prompt, or messages rather, equals, and we're going to do an array here. So let's go ahead and just pass in our role. And this needs to be in quotes. So let me backspace that. Role. This is going to be user. And next we're going to have content, again in quotes, and we're going to pass the prompt. And that needs to be not comma, but colon. So we're passing it in a list or an array of dictionaries. This might be a little bit easier for you to read if I do it like this. Sometimes when I put it all in one line, it's actually a little bit more difficult to read. So these are our messages. We have the user, we have the content, and the content is going to be the prompt, which will be this string of text here. All right, so now from this function, we're going to return response.choices 0. That's going to be the first in the array of the response object. We're going to say message.content.strip. So essentially, we're getting the response from the AI. There's a whole bunch of data in here. If you inspect this object and you debug, you understand why we're selecting the first index and then why we're stripping it. I'm just going to save you some time and tell you this is how we're going to get the text response back. But I do encourage you to debug this code and take a look at the response object that you're going to get here. Okay, so now that for the code here, what we want to do is if the user enters the incorrect answer, we want to give them another chance. We're going to do that by modifying this prompt. And we're going to say, not quite. Here is a hint from AI. Next, we're going to print an F string. And we're going to say AI hint. And then we're going to put the actual hint inside of here. So we'll say get underscore hint. And we're going to pass the question, right? So question. We're going to do user underscore answer. And we're going to pass correct answer. Now, let's stop right here and just see if we get the hints working correctly. If that does work, then we'll give the user another try to get the answer correct. So I'm going to pop open my terminal and I'm going to execute this again. So it's called flashcards and I've named this one AI. Okay, what defines a function? I'll type in the wrong word, which is going to be function. Press enter. Says not quite. Here's a hint from AI. Says that's a great attempt. I like how positive it is. Here's a hint. The keyword you're looking for starts with a D and is often used as the beginning of a function definition to indicate that you're defining a block of code. Can you think of what that might be? All right. So then it says what starts a comment. Let's get this one wrong as well. Do a dollar sign. And again, it's telling me great effort on your answer. This is stuff we can fix in the prompt. Like, hey, just keep it straight to the point. Yeah, I don't need you to, hype them up or tell them they're doing a great job. Just give the answer straightforward. ChatGPT is the ultimate yes man. So, it's like the couple where they're both using ChatGPT to solve an argument, and each individual's ChatGPT is telling them that they're right and the other person is wrong. That's a little bit what's going on here. So we could remove that with the prompt or changing models, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Yeah. So it's kind of telling us what the answer is here or giving us a hint. We could again fix this so that we get it correct. Let's just do dictionary here. One thing that I would change about this right away is explain why the answer is wrong. So I'll say, but explain why their answer is wrong and give them a hint to the correct answer. And then I'm going to go down here and just say, keep your answers as short as possible. Save it. And let's go ahead and just run it again. So I'm going to clear the screen. And I'll say function, press enter. Here's an answer, or here's a hint from AI. Your answer function is not correct because it doesn't match a specific keyword, refers to define a function. In Python, use a specific reserved word that is used for defining functions. It starts with a D and has 3 letters. That's a great hint. Okay, now let's talk about what starts a comment, and let's just put an exclamation mark. Your answer, exclamation mark, is not correct because it doesn't denote a comment in Python. Well, that's kind of obvious, but it does tell me that it's a different symbol, and that's nice. So let's say dictionary. Yeah, I like this. It looks like there's a small mix-up. A dictionary is a collection of key value pairs, whereas the example we provide is a sequence of values. This is great, right? So as you can see, this is starting to be useful. If we add multiple items to our flashcards, AI will take a look at what answer you actually provided. So there's value in not getting multiple choice. You're having to type it out. It'll look at that and it will actually give you feedback about why your answer was not quite correct. One thing that I want to try is what if we say for a function, what if we say DE, for example, or DEFI? I wonder what it's going to say about that because we just added, yeah, it's slightly off because it includes extra letters. I mean, I love that, right? So you kind of know that, hey, I pretty much had it right. Just need to change one little thing. What does a comment? I could put in 2 blocks. I don't know what it's going to say about that. What if I type a list? Like we're answering it. Technically, it's incorrect. Yeah, the question is asking for the specific type of that object. Here's a hint you can find. I mean, it's definitely getting lost a little bit here because this is a list, and just saying it's a list and saying the word list should not, make it incorrect. So we could probably explain to the AI that, hey, The user may type it in a way that we don't expect. If that happens, tell them they're correct and the program just didn't account for that. It expected an exact answer. I'm not going to do that. Let's go ahead and just move on to give the user another chance here to answer the question. So we're getting the hint from them. What we're going to do is give them a retry. So we're essentially going to copy this block of code and we're just going to reuse it. And instead of calling it user answer, I'm going to call it retry. And then we're going to copy this block here again. And we're going to use this again, but we'll change it to retry. So I'll explain what I mean just here in a moment. Oops, let me go ahead and just tab indent this because we know Python needs tab indentation. So instead of user answer, we're going to do retry. All right, so I'm going to say correct on the retry. And we're going to add score. And then if it's not correct, we'll say incorrect. The correct answer is, and then we'll do correct answer. And I'll add a little colon here so it looks a little bit better. Now I'll save and clear that. Let's run this script again. Okay, let's get this one correct. We'll call it def, says that's correct. And what starts a comment? Let's put an exclamation mark. It says not quite. Here's a hint. So it told me right there that the hashtag is used to indicate a comment. So it's not supposed to tell me the actual answer. That is prompt. That's where you get into, fixing your prompt so that it doesn't do something you don't want it to do. We're not going to get into how to do that. This is one of the things that happens when you use bad models. We could run this again with a better model and just see how it works. So let's just go ahead and put in the correct answer. It says correct on the retry. What is this? This is a list. It says your answer is partially correct. It is indeed a list. The specific question was asking for the type of object. It's important to focus on the type in Python terminology. I guess I can see where it's going with that, but again, I don't love it. So let's go ahead and just clear this and let's change our model and just see what happens here. So I'm going to go away from this model and let's use a 5 model. So GPT-5. Let's do just 5. Let's just see how this performs. Okay, same thing. I'm going to run it. All right, what defines a function? Let's call it a function. Just get it wrong. All right, and you can tell right away it's taking longer for it to answer. But I can tell you, I love this answer, this format a lot better. So a function is not a Python keyword. It's just a regular identifier. Python uses specific reserved keywords. Hint, here's my 3-letter keyword that starts with a D is used like this. I mean, this is a great answer. This is a great explanation. So what starts a comment? Let's get that incorrect. And again, this is one of the trade-offs. The model takes quite a bit longer, but the quality that you get back is much better. All right, so it isn't. So it says this does not start comments in Python. In normal code, it's part of not equal to, bang equal sign, or causes syntax error. In notebooks, it runs a shell command, not a comment. Hint, use the hashtag character to make Python ignore the rest of the line. What is a comment, right? So there's our hint. All right, I'm going to say this is a list. Let's see if it complains about this or how it handles it. Okay, so it's almost there, but the question asks for the exact Python type, not a plain English description. You should give it the type object name as Python reports it. Run and then tells me how to get it. Again, this is what the other 4.0 Nano or 4.0 Mini was trying to do, but this is a much better explanation. So, keep in mind that when you are writing these AI prompts and as you get started working with AI, the model matters quite a bit, but so does our prompting. We could probably go back to 4.0 and with some prompt magic, get it to perform better. But just to keep in mind, sometimes you just need to use a better model. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video on using AI to enhance our Python flashcard app. If you want to learn more Python, check out serveracademy.com/Python. You can get started taking our courses for free, and we have interactive Python editors in the web browser. You don't have to do any setup, and we make it as easy for you and as interesting as possible. There's interactive content, there's games, and much more. All right, I will see you at serveracademy.com.